Perhaps one of the most compelling stories of the past decades is the reign of the Apple and Macintosh empire. Its story, in all sense, a very interesting one, filled with defeat, loss, triumph, and controversy. In this video, we will tell you how this computer company rose to what it is today, and how it developed a deep and pop star-like cult following from customers all over the world. Just know that Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak are two main components. Apple has officially become the first $1 trillion company in history. It must come as no surprise as Apple continues to astonish the world with its innovative products and services. On this feature, we will tell you the story of Apple. We start the Apple early days, the tale of how Apple was founded, moving on through the Apple I to the Apple II, the launch of the Macintosh, and the revolution in the DTP industry. Recently, Apple became the first $1 trillion company. Apart from being the biggest tech organization, it is the best among its counterparts, from building a motherboard without a monitor and keyboard to the newest iPhone behemoth. Apple has left every tech biggie behind. Apple primarily being a product-based company focused on their iPhone instead of trying their hands at everywhere, and I mean everywhere, and see where it has brought them. Their one smartphone's progress is so high that the other phone makers can't even move the needle. Apple and technology are like two sides of a coin. The way they are bringing the amazing new technologies in these small-sized handsets is just uncomparable. The way that they are bringing these amazing new technologies in these small-sized handsets is just incomparable. Its current dominance and rise is quite puzzling for its competitors and even for us. Both past and the current and recent success of Apple are based on the growth of its products. Other than their trademark iPhone, Apple has even other successful products. For instance, its iPad brought the tablets into the market. iPad boasted 46% of the US market share and grabbed $5.9 of revenue. It is by far the most successful tablet in the world. Apple's journey has been a bit extraordinary from the beginning. Who would have thought that the 21-year-old college dropout would have this enormous vision? It all started with Jobs hanging out in a garage with his two friends, Steve Wozniak and Ronald Wayne. Jobs and Wayne started working for a gaming company while Wozniak worked for the Hewlett-Packard. But on April 1st of 1976, this trio built the first Apple computer, and it was the first foot of this remarkable journey. But Wayne sold its Apple shares for just $800 just 3 months after the initiation of Apple, while the two Steves went on with their vision. Everyone is aware that Apple had a great fourth quarter and has become the first $1 trillion company. But the way to success hasn't been an easy one for the iPhone maker. The iPhones are doing better than ever today, but very few of us know that Apple was once on the brink of bankruptcy. Yeah, right, it happened 20 years ago in August of 1997. Apple was going through a disastrous phase at that time and it was on the verge of getting defunct. Apple decided to buy a computer company, next, with the hope of a right direction to their company. But Steve Jobs convinced the board of rather getting a help from an established organization than to buy a company. Jobs knew that if Apple was to be saved, the only chance was to seek help from the competitors. Microsoft realized that eliminating competition isn't the only way to win, and it came forward to rescue Apple. It invested $150 million in return for non-negotiating shares. It assured Apple that it would support Mac for 5 years. In the favor, Apple dropped the lawsuit against Microsoft that claimed that Microsoft had copied Mac OS to make Internet Explorer the default browser in computers instead of a choice. Various tech biggies such as Alphabet, Amazon, Microsoft have been doing a great job in the technology space. On August 2nd of 2018, Apple hit the market value with $1 trillion, in which iPhone X played a major role. iPhone sales increased in such a way that when it grew by 1%, revenue instantly jumped by 20%. With $53.3 billion in revenue, the company managed to grow by 17% per year. The company's bright fortune is surely a good news for the individual investors. The stock of Apple is widely owned by teachers to electricians to lawyers. By rising to $1 trillion, it has given a reflection of how big is the investor's scope with Apple. Apple is now at a position where it is growing and is profitable for investors of all sorts. Every area that Apple is targeting and investing money has got competitors lurking around. Whether it's for the chatbots and AI to cars and voice, hungry, co-opted companies are following it like a shadow. Apple surpassed the $1 trillion mark and left us all amazed. But can they maintain their edge in the tech market? Can Apple provide the amazing technological advancements as it has done in the past? Will it be able to engage more loyal customers? Because if we look behind, there are other competitors in the race. Sustaining such big numbers won't be easy when they have other competitor biggies who themselves carry the potential to overpower it. Actually, the main challenge would be to manage complacency of this growth. As they say, success comes with both blessing and a curse. Thus, Apple has to plan their next moves properly. Apple and controversies have never left each other's side. Various allegations have followed Apple in the past 2 decades. Lately, Google has been fined $5 billion over Android abuse, and the sword is even hanging on Apple. Here are a few allegations which Apple has faced in the past: iPhone battery controversy, iPhone slowdown controversy, anti-competitive practices, universal compatibility violation, Irish tax bill. The list isn't ending here. Big or small, Apple's span is full of allegation, but somehow it dodges them every time. Apple's reign is full of loss, defeats, triumphs, and controversies, but it has proved its potential in the market. It hasn't built its empire overnight. Apple has overcome product flops, near bankruptcy, the death of its founder to the worth of $1 trillion. Had Microsoft not invested in Apple, the company would not have come this far. Imagine today's world without technologies like iPhone, iPad, the Mac. Just imagine all of that. Maybe you are doing it on a MacBook Air while listening to an iPod Touch and occasionally glancing at the newest Apple Watch for alerts from your iPhone. The reason behind that and behind Apple's success is that its devices are beautiful to look at and pleasure to use. That's why the company has such a powerful brand and lofty stock valuation. The marketing helps, and the media and fan frenzy never hurt. However, it is the quality of the products that drive Apple's success. Add to this the IE ecosystem that makes it much easier to stay with Apple than try to something new. And then you have a company with what Warren Buffett called an economic moat. It should not be surprising that Buffett invested happily and heavily in Apple. Apple's success story is full of efforts and sacrifices, so it won't let anyone overpower so easily. It isn't hidden from anyone that it has some tough competition in the market. It would be interesting to see the technology fight put up by other companies to surpass Apple, and how will Apple counter them. That time will tell, and that is with this video. See you in the next video. Until then, goodbye.